for like, girl, I'm finna go out. Let's go found What's going on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube? This is your favorite girl, your favorite coach. Coach April here in the building with my special guest, Chief Buckner. How you doing? How you doing today?
Listen, I am more blessed than bruised. I am so happy. It's a new year, a new opportunity. So I am motivated for
Mo-
2026.
Listen, I like the word motivated for 2026 because when I get into 2026, I say, you know what? I ain't leaving nothing on the table this year, no crumbs, nothing. So I'm going for whatever. Nobody can tell me no. Listen, y'all gonna think it's a new person walk. Cause when I walk, I'm gonna have a whole new stride this whole year. So you coming with anything wrong, it will not touch Coach April. But I'm so excited because he is no stranger to Fifth Faith, guys. This is his third year being a part of the Billy Bill Out podcast. Yay!
Yes,
So
yes.
as we give time to get people to come on, I know we started a little bit late, but guess what? Y'all still get in here. We are now live because it's gonna be a great talk. Listen, this man is busy. Okay, so I got to get in where I fit in. He's a busy man. He's already the second man in charge here in Shelby County, with the Shelby County Sheriff Office. So he's busy. So I do not take it lightly that he came to spend time with me in the Fifth Faith. You know, this your first time I think seeing a dungeon, cause normally we be in the same spot, meet at different place like the
Right.
church to do the thing. But yeah, so this is the Fifth Faith dungeon. One day you get to come to Fifth Faith dungeon, okay? Cause
All
you are a
right.
veteran, and I
I'm
do have a
excited.
special gift for you just for being a part of this endeavor. So I can't wait to give you. I'm giving you a hoodie this time, okay? You said
All
shirt.
right.
It ain't no shirt. You gonna get a hoodie,
I
one of the new
love,
hoodies. So you can when you go running, make sure you wear the hoodie, okay?
I love it. Yes, yes. I'm excited to wear it. You gave me a shirt last year when I did.
hmm
So I've been sporting it. So I'm ready to sport the hoodie.
Yeah, sport the hoodie. So while you right now, if you just tune in, go ahead and share this live feed. And Chief Buckner, if you don't mind, you can go on your phone on Facebook, and if you go to my page, you hit share, and that way your followers can see you as you begin to talk. And I give you a little time to do that if you would like to do that. But I'm going to go on my page and share it so that people can see what's going on.
Look, I stay
Let's.
away from my phone, but I will share
You
it.
can share. Yeah, you can share it later. That's fine.
And
So
look, I love
listen.
that video, the intro video. It makes me want to leave and go to the gym right now. So keep that video.
Keep
It's
it
motivating.
okay. So listen, y'all better listen. I'm gonna do a new video. I can't wait. Well, let
Ah,
me bag up. I got a new video that is dropping soon. I
okay.
got something new at the end of Bella. I got a surprise. I got a surprise for you guys. You're not gonna be looking forward to seeing this. So I'm excited. I was gonna drop it for my anniversary, and I said, nah. I want to wait till the first of the year when the Bella end. So y'all just be waiting because Bella ends on February 8th. So Super Bowl Sunday, that's the last day for Bella. And then we're gonna have a special video that's gonna drop. Okay, so be ready, be on the lookout. I can't wait. Shout out to my boy Kane and my boy Q. Listen, you already know what we about to do. We about to blow up.
That's awesome. One thing that I do like about the video, it shows a variety of different exercises and different things that you can do. So when I'm watching that video, each time I watch it, I'm like, okay, let me add that piece, or let me add
Yeah.
that piece. So it's just a variety. It's a menu of different workouts that you can do. And here's the thing: it's not in the gym, so it's nothing in that video that most people or anyone can't do. I think it looks like you were down on the river
I was.
working out. So it's outside, so you're getting some of that vitamin D, you're getting that sun therapy, that the one of those most important vitamins, and then you're just using everyday weight, something that you can go pick up at your local Walmart or the retail store. So that's those are some of the things that I just really, really love
I
about.
definitely appreciate you. But listen, while we're waiting, if you're a part of the Belly Bell Out, I know you're watching. Go ahead and put Bell Out in the comments because you have to get your credit for being a part of this live. You do get extra credit for being a part because this is a challenge. And my goal is to keep you motivated for 30 days. And for those who are watching, if you're not part of the challenge, I want you to continue to follow me and follow the path for better life because I'm going to continue to motivate you as well because I want to be healthy in 2026. I want you to be healthy in 2026 because that is what's important. But welcome back to the podcast, you guys. Today's conversation is all about leading well in our bodies, our mindset, and our families, and within our purpose. I'm excited to welcome again Chief Buckner, who is my friend. Not only is my friend, he listen. Whenever I call on him, he is always there. He never tell me no. So that's what I can say. Thank you for that. But when you hear I want y'all just to sit back, have a great time. This is gonna be a good dialogue with Chief Buckner. We're gonna talk about some things that you can use in your life and use on a daily basis. But before we get to all the talk, can you tell me about yourself outside of all the titles and all the responsibilities? So tell me about who is Mr. Anthony Buckner.
So since we last had an opportunity to talk, at least on this platform, I've had a major life development. Let me see if I can. Oh, there it is right there. So I got married in July 8th to my best friend Crystal, and one of the things that I was doing prior to the marriage, I was asking some guys who had been married for quite some time, and some religious leaders about marriage, and they said, "Well, man, when you get married, you start husband training." And so my good friend Bishop Ed Stevens, I asked him, I said, "Well, Bishop Stevens, how long does husband training last?" And he said, "Man, it lasts a lifetime." So I am officially in husband training
Okay.
that will never end. So that's a major life development for me. My 23-year-old daughter now, she's excited to start her senior year at MTSU. So we're around
Ooh.
third, heading for home, getting ready to coast towards the graduation. My bonus son has returned back to Winston-Salem State HBCU down in North Crackalaca, North Carolina. And then I have a 10-year-old, and I'm super excited about my 10-year-old as well. About a month ago, maybe a little more than a month ago, he decided to give his life over to God.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
yes, I'm super happy about that. But I'll tell you this, what's so unique about him, and certainly he's far more mature spiritually than I was at 10 years old. After he was baptized, he had this incredibly big smile on his face, and I asked him, I said, "Well, Anderson," I said, "are you excited now that you have confessed your life to God and you've been baptized?" He said, "Yeah, Dad, I'm excited, but I'll be even more excited when I walk through the gates of heaven." So I was just,
Ooh.
man, wait a minute, that's heavy.
That's heavy.
I
I
wasn't
don't
ready.
want you to walk that gate just yet, but that's
No,
heavy.
no, no, that's heavy. But for him to be able to see that, through
Yeah,
10-year-old's lenses, I thought that was just super incredible. So
that is.
those are some of the highlights that have really happened in my life, and that's been going on in my life. Just trying to make sure that I show up for all of the people who lean on me and who I hold a title with, whether that's
Mm-hmm.
father, or as you indicated moments ago, friend or husband or brother. Just making sure I'm being super intentional in 2026 to make sure that I show up for the people whom I hold titles for.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, you definitely keep showing up for me, so I definitely appreciate you. And congratulations on your new wed. I can't wait to meet the missus. I have not been able to meet her yet. I've seen her on pictures. She's beautiful, so I cannot wait to meet her. And make sure you tell her she got a little sister over, okay? That she
I
got
will.
to meet.
I will get her join your fitness classes.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be really cool. Yeah, she definitely can join. Don't worry about it. I got her. Don't you have to worry. But listen, let's go ahead and get into this good old talk. I know you got things to do. So one of the questions, I just got to ask you this. When you hear the word leadership, what does it truly mean to you?
Being a servant that's really what it means to me, being a servant. Because one thing that I've experienced of my 20 plus years of leading
Mm-hmm.
different capacities is that it's easy to tell people what to do, but man, they have so much more respect for you when you get down and do it with them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so being a good leader, when I think of it, I think of it being a good follower first. If you can't follow, it's going to be hard for people to lead. It's going to be hard for you to lead people, but you got to be a good follower and show yourself worthy of leading people. But then also, I am a huge proponent of being great at where you are,
Mm.
wherever that may be, wherever that is on your leadership journey. Even though you may have aspirations of the next position, the promotion, the next job, or even owning your own business, be faithful right where you are right now. And that shows a lot of strong leadership. And then I'll tell you this, how you leave where you are. If God is blessing you to transition to a higher position or a different company or your own business, the way you leave where you are is important when it comes to leadership. Had a
Mm.
friend of mine who worked in the news industry, and she was quite fed up with the station that she worked for, and she was transitioning to a different city, and she was not very enthused about returning, and so she was concocting this story about how to not have to work the final days. And I told her, I said, you know what, I said, you're a leader in this business. She had been in the business for quite some time. I said, you're a leader in this business. And what you may not realize is that there are younger people in your profession that's working at your station who are watching you because they view you as a leader. You may not have a title as a leader, but your experience, your tenure with the
Mm-hmm.
station makes you a leader because
Mm-hmm.
you know more than someone who may have just walked through the door. So you may not be knowing, or you may not realize it, but you're putting impressions in this young person's mind, this young reporter mind. So leave in the right way, meaning showing up on your last couple days of work or your last week of work, showing up with a smile, doing a job that you know to do. In fact, do it the way and with the same excitement that you had when you first
Mm-hmm.
came to the door. That's gonna you just never know how
Take
it's
you a
gonna
long
bless
way.
somebody that you're leaving behind. And you never know when you're going to link up with that person at some other point in your career or their career, and they could be in a leadership position or have a
Mm-hmm.
position of influence.
Mm-hmm.
So leading, I think, is just so important when you just look at it from the lens of people that's following you, people who are working alongside you, being a servant, serving them, showing up for
Mm-hmm.
them. I have the opportunity to go and speak to the recruit classes for deputy sheriff multiple times a year. And one of the things that I tell them, even in their journey, on their journey as recruits in the sheriff's office, is, it's important for you to show up to
Mm-hmm.
weddings, show up to funerals, show up to
Oh.
celebrate birthdays, show up to celebrate weddings and things like that. Little do you know, you are building leadership by doing that because people know that you are dependable, that you
Mm-hmm.
are accountable, and the most important ingredient in all of that is that they know that you care.
Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, I had some more questions I didn't really have to ask you because you kind of like put some and everything all at once. And you definitely hit the nail on the head when you said you have to be, I guess you have to be connected wherever you are. I don't care if you're the cook or you the person who sweeps the floor. You have to be the best person at that moment because you never know who's watching. You have to be a leader. So I definitely do agree with you on that. I tell my son that all the time when he's at school. Make sure you always a leader. Don't never be a follower. But there
Don't
is one
ever,
question. Do not be a follower. But there is one question I do want to ask you. What lesson have you learned in leadership that was learned the hard way?
ooh, that's a good question. What question have I learned in leadership that was learned
Mm-hmm.
the hard way? Um, so I'll tell you, uh, one of the things that I would say to all leaders is don't score an A in your leadership at work and you score an F in your leadership at home.
Mm.
Sometimes you got to sit with that for a minute.
Yeah, say that
Don't
again.
score
Somebody
A.
put that in the comments.
Yes, don't score an A in leadership at work and you score an F in leadership at home. And so, for me on my leadership journey, I can remember an important junction in my life where I was working in narcotics as a detective investigating drugs. And I remember my daughter was super young. I can't remember her exact age, but she was young enough to want her dad to play tea party with her. So whatever age little girls play tea party, that was her age. And I remember she had this really, really small table and really, really small chairs. And I sat my 6'1" tail in these chairs for hours on end playing tea party with her. But one of the things that I learned and had to learn, thank God it wasn't the hard way, but it took me a minute to really get to this point where one thing that I did not want my daughter to ever do is say that her dad made promises and didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
And when I worked in narcotics, there were a couple of times where I had to cancel certain things with her. And after about two or three of those, I was like, I can't live a life that on the back end of all of this career stuff, I have a daughter who doesn't know her dad.
Mm-hmm.
So as difficult as it was, I remember walking up the steps of my job at that time and talking to my boss and saying, "Hey, listen, I've never walked away from anything in my life, but I have to walk away from this." And I
Mm.
left being a narcotics investigator to being a school resource officer. And
Mm-hmm.
so the moral to all of that is prioritizing your family, because at the time I had a lot of my colleagues told me that I was killing my career and that I would never have this opportunity again. And that was difficult because I didn't have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
I could not have envisioned being promoted because I was a young patrolman at the time. I couldn't envision being promoted to these different ranks and have the opportunity to run as a candidate for Shelby County Sheriff. Again, my colleagues told me it was over with. My career is in the graveyard. But prioritizing what was most important, family, you know, God blessed me with these other things that were already destined. And so it
Mm-hmm.
goes back to what I was saying earlier. Don't score an A in your profession,
Yeah.
score an F at home. And to tie into what I said earlier, here's what I believe. Oftentimes, leadership starts in your own home. And if you're good at leadership in your home, you'll be great at leadership in your job and in your
Mm-hmm.
profession and anything else that you do.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I definitely thank you for that. And listen, you sometimes you have to trust the process. I learned that the hard way. Trust the process. And I know your story. You said people told you, "Hey, you would never be what you thought you would be today." But look at
Over
you
with.
now, over with. And you could have, but you could have really believed them. But you have crawled so high in this whole arena that look at you now. Now you're running for Shelby County Sheriff.
Yeah.
Okay, how can you say that? You ever thought you would be there? Because when you joined the sheriff office, you joined as with a reserve. You were a reserve, right?
Well, go back before then. I was an explorer. I was a 16-year
Okay.
old kid. Uh, didn't I knew that I wanted to be in law enforcement,
Mm-hmm.
and I just really wanted to start like diving into the profession, seeing what it really was about. Had no clue what the sheriff's office was. I lived in the inner city of Memphis at the time, so we didn't interact or engage with the sheriff's office.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to find a phone number, call them up, and say, "Hey, I'm interested." Went to an interest meeting in 1995 or 96.
Mm-hmm.
I know I graduated from the Explorer Academy in July of 1996, and I've been connected to the sheriff's office ever since then. So I started as a kid and developed relationships, learn leadership principles and leadership skills
Mm-hmm.
at the age of 16 because I was around community leaders. If
Mm-hmm.
people don't realize it, not I can say people don't, but some people don't realize that law enforcement, public safety official, whether you're a law enforcement officer, a fireman, or a paramedic, they are community leaders. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people look at them to offer direction and guidance, sometimes in the most tragic moments, but they're leaders that no matter what the rank is or no rank at all, they're leaders. So at 16 years old, I had immersed myself in community of people whom I wanted to be like. And
Mm-hmm.
so, that's one thing I tell young people now. I don't care what it is that you want to be or do in life, start immersing yourself in the community of people of what you want to be. if you want to be a lawyer, I'm saying this to a young person, pick up the, well, I was almost, listen, I almost
You
said pick
can't
up
pick
the
up the
yellow,
phone.
I almost said pick up the yellow pages. I'm telling my age.
Like you told
Okay.
me. You telling
Pick,
your age today.
yes, yes. Pick up your device, Google law firms, and just start calling and
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I'm 15 years old, 16 years old, whatever your age is, and I'm interested in becoming an attorney. And I just want to come hang out at the law firm." I guarantee you, it won't take you 2 days before you'll find a law firm that says, "Yeah,
Yeah.
young lady, come on, young man, come on." If you want to be, a hairstylist, pick up the phone and call some beauty salons. I guarantee you'll find somebody who wanna let you come and hang out. Hey, if you want to be a fitness instructor, call
Call.
April. She'll let you come hang out.
You definitely said that. Listen, I love that leadership isn't just something we do or that you do, but it's how you live. Like he said, it starts in the home. But as we go into this thing or belly out, this we are in the 30-day challenge where they doing a lot of things. People who have not worked out in a long time, people who have not worked out at all, they have all joined this challenge so that they can try to live better and be healthy. So I'll have a question for you. Why is taking care of your health important to how you show up for others? How you because that does matter.
One of the things that I can remember when I started my fitness journey many, many years ago, I quickly realized at how it changed my mental attitude. It really, how it changed me and how I thought and how I processed information. I would never would have made the connection prior to, but once I started working out, I realized that when I walked through the doors of my job, for me, I love to work out first and then go to work. If I had it my way, that's the way it always would be. But I would realize that when I walked through the doors of my job, I was ready to take on anything. It didn't matter what it was. I was on such a high, like I was super positive. I was super happy. If a stressful situation came to me or presented itself, I was able to think more clearly and navigate through those complex situations. But that was one of the things that I said, you know what? That's how I want to be. If I interacted with my family, I was in a better headspace. And so that was always the sale for me. It's just knowing yes, it's great when you look good. I mean, if we, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, in all honesty, I'm more interested in eating cookies than I am having six pack. However,
Oh no.
that don't mean I eat the cookies. That don't mean I eat the cookies, right? But I don't know if I'll ever have that six pack like I had when I was 17, 16 years old. uh, but I know I can have those cookies. But no, so but I say that to say, like, so for right now, I don't work out for the sole purpose of getting back to that 16-year-old body or 17-year-old body. I'm just too far away from that.
Well, mental.
But having a body that I can be proud of, and
Mm.
a body that I'm proud to be in, and also be able to enjoy desserts or things that I like that will stick with me longer if I did not work out. So but the big sell for me outside of that is that mental piece. It's just being able to have that mental clarity, to be able to de-stress and to be able to think, as clear as you possibly can with whatever is presented to you.
And so I have to ask you this question because you're busy. You're a busy person. You can get calls all throughout the day. You got your family. Everything you have to be in go with. It takes up time. How do you manage to find time to work out daily? Because I know you go to the gym, you run. How do you make time for that?
I think the word, if people are still designing their vision board, I think the word intentional or intentionality is a great word for us to have, um, in 2026, because it takes being intentional to do those things. Because if you are committed to a healthier lifestyle, you find those opportunities. So for me, on days that I know I'm going to be incredibly busy, I think I may have said this last year. I start out my day with doing push-ups. And I even do a different type of push-up now. They call it the Mike Tyson push-up. So I may do 50 the traditional way, and then 50 this this unique way. I call it unique, but a little bit more challenging, I guess. Uh, I recently bought this little app thing that I'll be using. Again, whether I use it for 3 minutes or 5 minutes a day, I'm doing something. Recently, I heard one of my colleagues who work at a job that normally would require them to sit down for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
Which I purchased this as well, but she brought this little stand that elevates, that allows you to
Mm-hmm.
stand up, so you can continue to do the job that you're supposed to do, but you're not sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually added a piece that I didn't even know this thing existed, but it's like a walking treadmill for your
Mm-hmm.
desk. And I bring that up because you know what? That's a small addition to her fitness program. So
Mm-hmm.
she may not be able, maybe her job or maybe one of our viewers' job puts them behind the desk for 12, 13, 14 hours a day. And they can't, when they get off work, it's too dark to go walk,
Mm-hmm.
Chevy Farm. So it's too dark to go down to Riverside. But what if you had a job and you just purchased a little walking treadmill that can fit under your desk, and while you're checking emails or while you're reading reports, that you can walk, on this little treadmill? Guess what? You're moving. You're getting your
Mm-hmm.
steps in. You're elevating your heart rate,
Mm-hmm.
ever so slightly. Some people, you may have an hour lunch break. What does it look like, to go walking on your lunch break for half of that time?
Mm-hmm.
Or I can tell you one of the things that I do. I don't all So when I show up to work, I don't take the elevators in the mornings. Most mornings, I'll take the stairs. Now I ride down, but I go up. But guess what? That small 2 minute, 3 minute workout, it's just like being on the stairmaster, you know, and you're making just a minor adjustment. So I think just mentally thinking about those
Mm-hmm.
opportunities where you can get a workout in, and it may not be the traditional, you got your headphones on and your gloves on and your sweats and all that kind of stuff. It's just these small minor edits. When you go to grocery shopping, we like to park up front. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what does it look like if you park further away from the
Good
door,
idea.
so you have to walk a little bit further? You getting your steps in. There are so many opportunities around us to do just a little bit more, because I'm getting to an age now where working out is almost becoming, man, just moving, just doing something. You don't have to have this well thought out, chat GPT plan or April plan workout. I'm not
Yes, you
taking
do.
your
You need
business
eight
from you.
plane.
I'm not
You
taking your
need
business.
eight. Not
I'm not
don't
taking
use
it from you.
ChatGPT. Call me.
Yeah, let April be your chat GPT. But just having a plan to do something more than what you may
Mm-hmm.
be doing now, or more than what you did a month ago, more than what you did last year.
Before we transition over, I want you to tell our watchers, our viewers here, especially our men, because a lot of times men do not move. Can you tell them what makes moving so important to you at this age that we are now? Okay, like we already gave our age away just a second ago. So
Right.
what would you tell the man who's watching, who keeps sitting on the couch watching football, basketball, they're not moving, we on blood pressure medicine, we on high cholesterol medicine, but we just would not go to the gym? What would you tell that man today? What he should do?
If you don't move, you get good at it.
Mmm. That's
Okay.
deep right there.
I'm gonna say
That's
one.
deep right there. Say that again for me. Say that again. Say that
If you
again.
don't move, you will get good at it. And so
Ooh.
and so, I understand, you come home from work, you've had a rough day, you've dealt with you had the weight of the world on your shoulders, and all you want to do is sit down, watch the game, or play your game, whichever one it is. But what you're doing essentially is literally deteriorating.
Mm.
And it may not seem like it right now, but at some point in time, it's going to be difficult to get off the couch or out of the couch or out of the recliner or out of that chair. It's going to be difficult because if you don't move, you're going to get good at it. And so my advice is, even if you watch the game, hey, you know what? Stand up. Stand up. In between plays. Stand up. From one whistle to the next whistle. Or stand up during the halftime. But do something, because if you don't move, I promise you, I'm telling you right now, you're going to get good at it.
Listen, and shout out to my homeboy Hornbeak. Listen, that is a word that we don't even talk no more because you just said all we need to hear. That go to my women too. If you don't move, you will get good at it. Like the people who call me on the consultation, who I already said they got knee problems, back problems, and what did I tell you on the phone? Everybody can tell you what Coach April say. I don't care about that. Cause the doctor already fixed you, and the doctor done told you what you need to do. Get moving. Get moving, y'all, because if not, you gonna get real good at it. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna take a brief second. If you're from the belly out, you're watching, go ahead and write in the comments, type belly out so you can get your credit for the day so I can know that you're in the building. But listen, I have some more great news to share with you guys about my friend who's here sitting with you today. He has a shirt on, as you can see. He has a shirt. He's running for Shelby County Sheriff. So if you in the Shelby County, listen, he's a great man for the job. But I want to ask him some questions that you can find more out about him. So as you go to the polls here real soon on Cinco de Mayo Day, you would know where to lead to and who to lead for. So how are you preparing yourself for what may happen in the next couple of months?
Yes, yes. So one of the things that I'm focused on right now is being intentional about
Mm-hmm.
tuning out the noise. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you're running for political office, you know, there's a lot of conversations out there, and uh, majority of the people who weigh in about, you know, who you are as a person, they've never met you, they've never had a conversation with you, and so if you're not very careful, whether you're running for political office or not, if you don't learn how to tune out the noise, it can impact you
Mm-hmm.
mentally, which could lead to physical impacts, as well as emotional. So I'm being intentional about tuning out the noise. And on the other side of that, you know, getting across the finish line, becoming the next sheriff, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. We got to hit the ground running. And
Mm-hmm.
so uh, I'm limiting deliberately my time on social media. Social media can't solve the problems that impact our community the most. Getting
Yeah.
behind the desk, convening people who are very smart, who are solution driven, that's what get us across the finish line. That's what drives change, not what's the latest comment, what's the latest story. So tuning out the noise is the biggest thing that I'm focused on right now, and I'll be focused on after the election is over with, and then I'll be focused on a year from now, you know, when I'm able to deliver the results that our community deserves.
I know that's right. So what can you tell the listeners who are watching? Why do you think you should be the next sheriff of Shelby County? Why you think you are called for this new season of leadership?
Yeah. So well, first of all, thank you for this opportunity and thank you for this platform
You
to
what?
speak to your audience. Now, my audience, at least once a year.
Yeah, it's yours. You grandfathered in now.
Yeah. So I've dedicated my past 24 years of my life to serving this community. And I love this community, Memphis and Shelby County, in the metro area. And so when I show up for work now, when I showed up for work 24 years ago, I have an incredible amount of excitement to wear the uniform, to go out every day. Uh, I still love to be the person that people call when everything is going wrong. I still love that. I could leave next year, retire, sit on the porch in a rocking chair if my wife would allow me to, and I don't have to do anything else. God has been good to me. He's given me a great career. He's sustained my health. But that's not fair for our community because I know I have the talents and that I have the skill set and the connections to make the sheriff's office even better than what it is today. And that can make this community even safer than what it is today. You know, one thing that I want is a community that when we send our young people off to college, you heard me talk about this at the top of this show. I got two kids that are off at college, and
Hmm.
I want to make sure that I do what I can. I want to play my role to make sure that those young people, when they get ready to graduate from college, they say, "Man, I'm going back home." You know, I'm
Hmm.
excited to go back to Memphis and bring my talents here. It doesn't do our community any good when we invest all of our money sending them off to college and they get to North Carolina, they get to Murfreesboro, they get to some other city and say, "Man, I don't want to go back home. Stay here." Our city won't grow and our city won't thrive. But
Hmm.
then also for the business community, we had a ton of communities, a ton of businesses that have left our community for other cities and other states. Our community as a whole can't thrive if businesses don't choose Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do my part to make sure the business community say, hey, that's the next city that I want to move to, or that's the next, or this, I want to keep my business here in Memphis. But then also for our everyday people, right? I want to make sure that I do my part or continue to do my part to make sure that if you want to go pump gas at 8 o'clock at night, you can pump gas at 8 o'clock at night and you don't have to pump it with a hammer in your hand. You
Mm.
know, I want to make sure that if you want to go get a decent meal at 10 o'clock at night, that you can go do that at 10 o'clock at night. Right now, most of our restaurants are shutting down like at 9. And if you're not in door at
Mm. Yeah.
8:45, you're done. You're in someone's drive through. I
Done.
want to do my part to make sure that if a restaurant owner says I want to stay open 10, but I'm afraid, like, no, you can do that. And we're going to make sure that it's safe for that. At some point in time, the Memphis Safe Task Force is going to leave our community. And you got to have leaders who are here who have strategies that will continue to drive crime down.
Mm-hmm.
We put in strategies. I put in strategies with my colleagues that helped drove crime down 21% in unincorporated Shelby County before the task force ever started. Well, guess what? I know that those strategies work because I saw what happened when you added 800 more officers to those same strategies, how much crime went down. So when they leave, we're going to employ those same strategies and make sure that we continue to drive crime down. But then
Mm-hmm.
also our jail. We got to have a jail that's humane, a jail that's safe, and a jail that's well staffed. I'm going to be hell bent to do those things for that next jail. Working alongside the next mayor, we're going to get that done. So
Mm-hmm.
you got a guy who's going to show up to work every day, understanding whether it's an inmate in our jail, whether it's a family member of the inmate of our jail, or just the everyday person that want to go to work and go hang out, with their friends or family, or a young person that need to come back to our city. That you got a sheriff that's thinking about those people every single day and doing the job and making decisions and strategizing on how to meet all those people where they are.
Well, listen, guys, you heard it right here for yourself. Listen, thank you so much for what all you do now and what you're gonna do in the future. I pray number great things for you. I wish you my blessing. I pray that for those who are listening, that you're taking heed to what he said, because the things he said are true. I said it needs you. I said it needs better leaders. I said it needs effective leaders. So I'm looking forward to seeing the transition and what the things that will come from it. But listen, one thing about a leader, they must be healthy. And look what, he is healthy. Like he said, he go to the gym in the morning before he go to work. That means that if he becomes the next sheriff, he's gonna be going to the gym. He's gonna be going into work, ready for what's about to happen, because they're gonna be putting it on the desk, left and right.
Right, right.
He got to dodge like this, okay? Because it's coming.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
gotta have some abs. I can't eat those
yeah,
cookies then. All
you
right.
can't have you gonna have to have the ass, okay?
Got you.
Not you got to be looking forward towards the 6 pack, not just to be healthy. Now we need the 6 pack, but no. I really do appreciate you for being here, you guys. Thank you. If you love and enjoyed this conversation, the comments are really on fire. Go ahead and write them in the comments. Let him know that you're here. Let him know that you're rooting for him and that you're cheering him on to victory. Please follow me now. Podcast is lit every week. We're gonna be here with more guests and more motivational speakers. So stay tuned. If you're interested in learning about Fit Faith, listen, just go over to the website and just sign up for the website so you get emails. But Anthony Buckner, can you tell them how they can reach your campaign?
Yeah, so visit my website at buckner4sheriff.com. That's Buckner 4sheriff.com. Learn more about me. You can reach out to me through the website. We'd love for you to join our campaign. You can go to our website to do that, or donate to the campaign. You can do that as well by visiting the website, Buckner4sheriff.com.
Okay, and I'll put that in the comments after the live. Buckner, what is it? BucknerForSheriff.com. I will put that in the comments. So go ahead and follow him. Follow him on his page. He said he's not really on there because he's busy. He's in the mindset. He in the ring like Mike Tyson. He not doing no push-ups. Okay,
Right,
I heard what
right.
I listen to everything you say. So you guys, I definitely appreciate you. And one thing we did learn today about effective leadership. It starts within the home. It starts within you. Then you take that outside to where you may go on your daily walk. So I love you guys. Stay tuned. Stick around. Stay right here, Buckner, before you hang up. I'll catch you all later. Thank you.